Oh my goodness. Is it time? What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson with MoneyBass.com. Oh man, we're back once again. Guys, we have to hit the sirens for this one. Oh yeah. You've seen the things that are going on out here, and you guys have seen the thumbnail and the title of tonight's live stream. If you could drop a quick one in the chat for me, just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. But hey, we're going to hop straight into the meat of this show tonight because we're going to have a little fun with this one, guys. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, guys. It really does help the channel. And for anybody that is new checking into the live stream, please make sure you hop into the chat and introduce yourselves. You know, there's a lot of things going on in here in the chat here. This has got to be one of the best chats on YouTube, guys. We're always in here and getting active, having a great time with this show. But man, okay, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this one. But just give me a quick second. Let me check in on the Facebook crew, guys. Just want to make sure they are live and in action over here before we get into the meat of the program for this evening. And we do have some, we're going to have that question and answer segment where I'll bring up some of you guys to hear your thoughts, opinions, suggestions, things like that. And we're also going to hear from kind of the new school side of things, see what some of these younger anglers have to say about this topic that we're going to be talking about. And also, who's out here installing all of this equipment, all of these electronics? We're going to talk to somebody that does that also. All right, so here we go, guys. Just bear with me. All right, I got the Facebook crew over here. Let's make sure you guys are over here rolling. Let me refresh that screen. All right, there we go. Big shout out to the Facebook crew. All right, really appreciate you for tuning in. And one more thing, guys, just bear with me. Have to get one more thing up here. All right, there we go. All right, so we're live and in action on that side of things. All right. Oh yeah. This one's gonna be kind of juicy, guys. We're gonna get in here and have some fun with this one. I see you guys checking into the live stream. Want to give a big shout out to, we have the members of the Money Team checking into the live stream. Want to give a big shout out to Steve Wimpy, member of the Money Team. We also have the Epic Boys. I think they might have some things to say about this topic this evening, guys. All right, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and jump straight into the content for this evening. And for those that may be tuning in for the first time, pretty much the format of the show is I will play a few video clips and, just kind of give you guys my thoughts, opinions on it a little bit. Then, of course, we have the interactive segment, which I call the question and answer kind of segment of the show, where I would drop the call in link so you guys can come up and kind of let us know what you are thinking. And actually, one more thing before we get into that, I have to give credit where credit is due. Big shout out to the current sponsor of the live stream. Special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, Joe Winkler. All right.
Yes, sir.
There we go, guys. You see that banner scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Whoever gives the largest super chat, super sticker during the live stream is the sponsor of the live stream, because this channel is supported by you guys, the viewers, the subscribers, everybody that just may stop by every once in a while to see what is going on. All right. So first thing I have to do is, this is a live show, guys. So sometimes I have to hop in here, share my screen, do a little bit of work. Let me just drop this down real quick. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is take a look at a few video clips that I have put together. And also, one other thing I forgot, guys. We're moving tonight. We're getting right into it. The other thing is I drop polls, and these polls that I drop throughout the show are basically to gauge the room, kind of get some feedback from you guys so we know who's in here watching, who's participating in the chat. So the first poll of the evening, based on the topic of tonight's live stream, and man, you guys saw that thumbnail. So let's start off with, who in here is running electronic? Let's just keep it simple. We'll keep this first poll simple, guys. All right. And also, just bear with me. We're just going to play a few video clips. I see some more guys just kind of trickling into the live stream. So we're going to play a few video clips, and then I'll drop the call in link very quickly on this one, guys, so we can get right into it. But for this first poll, just make sure you guys get active on it in the chat section, in the comment section. Is let's see. Do you have live? Let's just keep it simple. How live imaging on your, let's just say, do you have live imaging? Whether that's Humminbird, Humminbird Mega Live, Garmin livescope, or Lowrance active target. So are you running live imaging? And we will keep this with a simple yes or a no. And again, this is just to gauge the room. So we'll see who's in here tonight. What kind of participation are we going to have this evening? All right, so that poll is live and active. So make sure you guys participate in that chat. And I mean, in that poll. And I see you guys are already definitely getting live on the in the chat in there. Also, guys, my likes. It really does help the channel if you hit that like button. My likes are looking a little famished. They're looking kind of lonely over there. Can I get maybe just 5 or 6 more likes, guys? Let's go ahead and get those numbers boosted up. And let me share my screen. We're going to kind of reminisce a little bit. Let's see who remembers this this segment right here. Wait a minute. Hold on just a second. Do we need to stop the show already? What is going on? We have Steve Wimpy. Steve Wimpy has hit the channel with the $9.99. He's like, hey, partner, you know, I'm kind of liking how things are going. I think I want to get in on this topic for this evening. So just bear with me, guys. I have to hop in here, do a little work, and update this banner because we do have a sponsor of tonight's live stream. And as you see, it is Steve Wimpy. No question, no comment. He's like, hey, I'm just here to support and show some love to the show. All right, so let's see. So we have Steve. All right, Stephen Wimpy. All right, really appreciate that. I mean, you know, feels good to let me know that you guys are finding some value in the content that we're that we bring each week at Tuesday 8 p.m. Eastern. And the other thing for you people, you guys and gals that are catching this on the replay, watching this during the live is the best experience because as you see, you can get active in the chat and network with people in here. I can respond to you live and in action because these shows are live. This is not a podcast. These are live shows, guys. All right, so let me just share my screen. Let's see. Does anybody in the chat know who this young gentleman is right here? Let's see. I want you guys to get active in the chat. This is I want some crowd participation. Does anybody know who this gentleman is that I have on the screen? I'm looking. I'm checking out the wait a minute. Hold on just a second. Did I miss something? Okay, no, we're good. We're good. All right, there we go. I see it coming in. Okay, we have Don Barks. Oh yeah, that's Don B. Don B. That's John B. All right, Memphis knows who that is. All right, Tony Toms, where'd he go? He said, nope, I do not know who that is. So this is John B. He is one of the original members of the Guggen Squad. Those guys put some things together and blew up. Seems like it was kind of quick, but hey, they've put in a lot of work over the years, guys. All right, so the other thing, do you guys see in the background behind his head? Now, originally, he made this video. It's kind of like a little jokey joke, just to have a little fun. But little did we know how things would end up turning out. Let me just go ahead and let you guys take a listen. Hold on, just bear with me, guys.
Caleb said earlier, he's like, dude, that's ignorant. As soon as I mounted it, he's like, that is ignorant. To me, it's pretty standard. I don't know. I think it makes sense. Oh, there we go. Let's go. Lawn chair all ready to go on the deck. Got myself a beverage, jig in hand, go catch some fish.
All right, so check this out, guys. Let me just hop back on here just a second. All right, so do you guys see what he has mounted on his boat? That is like a 32-inch actual TV that he has wired into his units. It doesn't look too far-fetched from reality nowadays, does it, guys? What do you think about that? I mean, when I first saw this video, it was pretty funny, but now it's not so funny to some people that are out here because looks like it's starting to be a reality. So I think he has a 32. I think that was a 32-inch screen that he has mounted to this boat, and he's actually out there using it. He actually got this screen to work with his units. Don Barks is like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun. He says, hey, it looks awesome, looks good. But hey, I wonder if he was out here catching some fish with it. All right, let's see what else somebody has to say. Texas Air Gunner says that's why MBT Marine came out with the 22-inch screens. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So for people who do not know, there are some humongous screens out there. So yeah, we're gonna get into it, guys. Let me go ahead and just drop this down real quick and let you guys just kind of take a look and see what else he had to say.
How are they biting back here?
That is how you mount a. No, that's beautiful. Look at that. That's how you mount a grab, baby. Gotcha.
So I got a Helix.
All right, so there we go, guys. So what do you think about that? So John B back in the day, he was like, let me go ahead and try to get ahead of the curve. But if you actually take a look at the screens that he had on the console, let me see if I could just slide it back just a little bit. The graphs that he has on the console looks like he has some units that are a little bigger than 12-inch units already on his console. But so this was during the time where those screens were getting larger and larger, but he went ahead and took it to the extreme. And believe it or not, that actually did work. The link to that video, I'll put that down in the description after the live stream. So if anybody wants to go and check it out, you can see the full video of how he actually rigged that up. And he was using it on the lake and catching fish with that screen. All right, let me see. Then Memphis says, how does that not come off? I said, how does that not come off? Actually, as you see, it did come off. And when he started hitting those waves, it could not handle it. All right, so let's ease into this next part. And this is really kind of the meat of the program of what we're going to be discussing this evening, guys. And the other thing, I will be dropping the online, the call-in link just shortly, right after I play the few video links that I have that we'll be going through. All right, so let's hop back into it, guys. Let's hop back into it.
So I got a Helix 12.
Yep. Lowrance
12. I got a Helix 10 for mapping.
Yep.
All week I've had a Garmin 10 back there for whatever, live scope.
Okay.
1/2 ounce jig.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect.
And then 360.
Like over 20K?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's gotta be,
no
right?
doubt. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You look probably 5 right there.
Yep.
3, 6. So you're at 12.
Transducers, both forward facing like this, not in perspective, but both vertical.
We got 3 12s here at the console.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 20 grand, right?
Oh, it's more
at
than 20 grand.
Yeah.
It's almost the price of a new Hulk.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my goodness, guys, who knew? Who has actually seen this before this video? So I've been hearing about it for, I don't know, maybe a year or a little longer than that, about this type of thing that's going on. People with 6+ transducers. And when I say transducers, I mean live imaging transducers, 2 at the front, 2 at the console, and then 2 all the way at the back of the boat on the transom. These are just the live imaging transducers. We're not talking about regular down scan, side scan. They're running these live imaging transducers big time, guys. Who actually knew? Yeah, I mean, I knew about it, but I guess seeing it is actually a completely different thing, guys. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it. All right, just bear with me. Bear with me. Like I said, this is a live show.
The Apex 13s, I got 3 of them.
3 13s.
I got the Apex 16 for my 360. Just kind of expand that.
Yep.
I do have the, the forward facing
regular. Yep. Sure.
Got the 360.
At Sea Light, dude. Caleb is an absolute man, but plus.
Okay. What did he call that? Did he call that a Sea Light or something like that? Those are actually what they use as brakes now for your boat. I mean, I do see the use in those, how those can be used whenever you are fishing offshore. And I guess they can be used fishing shallow too, but all of these tools. And the other thing is, we're bass fishing, we are kind of a little behind the crappie game out there. So we're kind of taking some of the crappy, the crappy components and adding it to the bass fishing side of things. All right, so I see some more people trickling into the live stream. So basically what we're doing, guys, we're just going to look at a few clips first. Then I'm going to drop the call in link. And I have a few people that have some things that they want to say. So we're actually going to hear from the new school side of things also. So we have a few high school anglers. We have some installers. I mean, we have a few different people that we're going to be pulling up and just getting a different take from things from us, you know, this guys that's been out here on the water a little longer. So we may have a different view. So I think this is going to be very interesting, guys. But let's go ahead and finish listening in to see what other type of equipment these guys have on their boats.
Probably somewhere in $40,000-$50,000 range.
I think you're about right on.
Yeah.
But that is pretty amazing. A short guy like myself, I don't know how you'd see over this.
Okay, we got to pause it on that. We have to pause it on that one right there. Has anybody seen anything like this before? Has anybody seen anything like this before? When I listen, this is the thing, guys, for people that are just tuning in that do not watch this channel, welcome to the live stream. You know, I am that guy they call MoneyBass. We get together each week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I am an electronics guy. So if you take a look at the content on my channel, I run Humminbird systems. I have 2 units at my console, 2 units on the front of the boat. I'm running 360. I'm running Mega Live. So, hey, I'm an electronics guy, but there are some things that can still shock me, guys. I receive a lot of messages on Instagram, on my comments, where people are looking for assistance with getting better with the electronics. So I'm always trying to assist people the best I can. And that is another thing that we do here on this channel, whether you are running Garmin livescope, Lowrance, Active Target, or you're running Humminbird units. We're all one big happy family, guys. We want to make sure that people are getting out there, getting the best out of their units, and, you know, having successful days out there on the water. So we get in here, we share information. If anybody is running into any issues with their electronics, just make sure you drop that in the chat. There were some people that reached out to me this week. Once we completed the Humminbird 1.300 update, they saw my results out on the water and they're like, hey, you know, mine aren't quite looking as good as yours are. What did you do different? So if any of you guys are in here, make sure you drop your comments, questions, or, you know, just what's happening with your units in the comment section. If it's not something that I can help you out with right away, maybe there's somebody in the chat that can help you out, man. But yeah, so back to this picture right here. Do you guys see that? When I first saw this thing, I was like, is this real? And then I was like, it's real. It's real, man. All right, but yeah, has anybody seen anything like that? I'll hop back into the chat in just a second, guys, but I did want to get through the meat of the show, and then I'll start pulling up some of the comments as I drop the link and just wait for some of you guys to come up so I can bring you up and we can chit chat and see what your thoughts are on these topics. All right, let's get back into it, guys. Here we go.
I think retail read like 50 grand,
Is that all?
you know, at retail pricing.
So that's
Okay, guys, $50,000. $50,000.
Yes, sir.
This is not for your average angler, guys. I'm about to I'm about to throw the towel in, guys. I mean, $50,000. This is just electronics. Last year, we were having a live stream where we were discussing just some basic electronic tutorial information. And I was paying attention to the chat. And I know that there are some guys that come into this live stream every once in a while that may not be familiar with the content or what we talk about. So I noticed someone in there, they were stating like, hey, I'm looking for a boat. And like I said, guys, we try to network in here. So make sure you hop in the chat, introduce yourself. You never know who's in the same neck of the woods that you are, fishing the same lake, same tournaments, things like that. Maybe you guys can link up. Maybe you will find your next fishing partner. So I noticed that there was someone in the chat looking for a boat. And I started seeing comments that was helping him out. And they were like, yeah, you could get this boat. It'll be around 90 something. This one will be like 110 and stuff like that. And I was like, hold on, guys. I'm looking in the chat and I think you are misunderstanding what the gentleman in there is asking you. He is looking for a bass boat. He's looking for a bass boat. Bass boats are not $100,000. I had not been bass boat shopping for a while. So they were like, no, we're talking about bass boats. And I was like, no, I'm saying bass boats like we use for fishing. And they were like, we're talking about bass boats that we use for fishing. So somebody told me about the Icon boat, and they started mentioning these other boats and everything. And I had to Google it and look it up right then. And I saw these boats were pushing $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 for just the boat, guys. Just the boat. I mean, that's equipped with your electronics and everything, but that's just the boat. What about the truck to tow it with and everything? And I was looking like, man, some people are probably taking up second mortgages on their homes to get this equipment. It was looking kind of tough, man. But $50,000, guys, 50,000. Is anybody else as shocked as me? Let me just hop in the and check this poll out real quick, and we're gonna change this poll question in just a second. But for everybody that is just tuning in, I drop polls in the chat throughout the live stream, so that way we can kind of gauge the room. If you have any topics or any poll that you would like to see to kind of gauge who is in the chat, drop it in the chat, and if I catch it, then I will add that poll to the list of polls that we do throughout the evening. But right now, the poll that we have that is active right now says, do you have live imaging? And we have 62% of the people that are currently watching this live stream and getting active in the chat say yes, they do have live imaging. Now we have 38% that say no. So now I'm going to change this poll up and let's start getting into it, guys. Let's see who has more than one live imaging transducer. Let's see what the general population, because sometimes we do have some pros in here that check in, guys, but I'm thinking, well, obviously the majority of the people that are watching are not going to be pros. So this poll that I'm going to put up is just kind of giving us an idea, engaging the room of this live stream of who actually is investing in these electronics. So remember, that poll has ended, but I'm starting a new one so we can see who is running more than one live imaging transducer. So let's see what percentage of that 62% is running more than one live imaging transducer. So this next question, just bear with me. Like I said, this is a live show, so I have to get in here and do a little work every once in a while. So are you running more than one live imaging transducer? And I have a feeling this is going to be a surprise to me. So we'll keep it simple. We'll go with a simple yes, and we'll go with a simple no. So these guys that are hitting me up asking for these tips and things like that to help them out with their electronics on the lake. Let's see. Are you running more than one live imaging transducer? That poll is now active in the chat. There were a lot of people participating in that last chat. So right now we're showing that about 62% of you guys are running live imaging. So this is going to be a, kind of a heavy electronics crowd that we have in here. So we had 38% that said no, they are not running live imaging. All right, let's hop back into the video real quick. And like I said, guys, I'll hop into the chat in just a second, and I can see that you are definitely getting active in the chat. Wait a minute, did I miss something? I think I did. I have to always give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Crush It Jail. We have Crush It Jail checking in, says they have become a new member of the live stream. And guys, we have CT checking in. CT says, hello, chat member subscribers. Good day to you all. Okay, CT has been a member of the Money Team for 2 months. Big shout out to CT and Crush It Jail. Really, really appreciate it. And always got a good credit to the sponsor of the live stream. Big shout out to Steve Wimpy. Really, really appreciate the support of the channel. All right, guys, let's hop back into, wait a minute. I got to stop the show again. Oh, my goodness. Cerebral Tackle. He has gifted 5 memberships. The people that you hear me referring to as the Money Team, those are the members of the channel, guys. If anybody is interested in becoming a member of the channel and supporting the show, just click the join button down below to give you some basic information about becoming a member of the channel. But for now, CT, Cerebral Tackle, has gifted 5 members, 5 memberships to the channel. And I can see the guys that have been gifted those channels. So if you have received one of those gifted memberships from CT, just put CT or cerebral tackle in the chat. Just make sure you thank him. That is an actual membership, so that will keep you active in here for about a month, guys. So you will have access to the members only content, and when we do our live streams that are only for members, things like that, so you have access to some additional information, guys. That's basically what that is. And you have that badge next to your name, kind of helps you to stand out as I'm going through here trying to get caught up with the comments. All right, so let me go ahead and drop this down, and we're going to hop right back into the content, guys. Here we go. Let's see what else they had to say. And the other thing, this video is just snippets from the video that you will find on Chris Zaldain's YouTube channel, Zaldangerous. So yeah, I'm a subscriber. I'm a fan of that channel and of his content. So this video is just some snippets. So make sure that you go and check out the entire video. That video is crazy, guys. And actually, I'm pretty sure I think it just dropped yesterday, and it has well over 40,000 views on it. So it's moving. It caught a lot of interest. That's kind of why we're talking about it tonight too, guys. All right, so let me just bring my screen back up. Let's see what else he had to say.
62 sees further and built for saltwater, I believe, right?
Yep.
So you can see fish and your bait at the longest cast possible.
Correct.
Okay. 100?
26,000.
26,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Just the displays alone.
Just 30 grand.
It's a good guess, dude. You're about right on.
12, a 10, and a 16.
Woo,
So
that's nice.
if I had to put a number on it, it's probably somewhere around 15 to 18 grand.
Yeah, I think you're a little low, but
Probably.
yeah, it's getting out of control.
That's maybe for a little bit of a discount.
2 12-inch garments,
Yeah.
also on the beat downs, as well as an iPad, so throw that in there.
You're looking at 20 or 30,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say that's right on.
Yeah.
This is elaborate
We
here.
got the LVS 62, the saltwater transducer.
Okay, see further? You see-
Okay, let's pause this one right here, guys. So this is kind of what I was talking about. Now, if you take a look closely on this, he has 3 live imaging transducers at the front of his boat. Earlier, I mentioned that there are some boats that have 2 at the front at the trolling motor. They have 2 at the console, and then they're running 2 at the back, and they're using those as side imaging, shooting off to each side of the boat as they're scanning. So they may be using side imaging in conjunction with live imaging for their scanning. I am waiting for somebody to put out a video to show us how they are using all of this. I think Zaldain, he kind of snuck it in on him.
Yes, sir.
I think he kind of snuck up on him. It's like, hey guys, let me slide in here and get some of this information from you. Because the other thing, as you watch these videos, you notice some of these anglers, they're like, I don't know if I really want everybody knowing that I'm running a battleship over here. So some people were kind of reluctant with sharing all of that information that they had as far as letting him see everything that they had on their boat. But yeah, so take a look at that, guys. He's running 3 live imaging transducers at the front of his boat. All right, let me just pull it back up, and let's go ahead and finish out this video, guys. 3 live imaging transducers. Wow.
It's been helping a lot this week.
Okay, good for you. Perspective live scope
With 34, and then just regular forward.
and regular 34
Some of this
forward.
too is like safety control. I break this
Yep.
off, then I can flip one around.
Good on how much all this stuff costs.
40 grand.
40 G. He
30
thought
grand.
about it. Like he was the quickest. I mean, like he thought about it before.
Man. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Guys. What is happening? What is happening? So I dropped the call-in link. So if anybody wants to come up, like I said, we're just going to get straight into it. We're going to just keep moving and shaking, guys. So I have some people that, I want to hear from. I want to hear from you guys. I have dropped the call-in link. And the other thing that I want to do with this is one of the things that we hear about is growing the sport and just what are we going to do and what are we leaving behind for the younger anglers? But who's actually taking the time to talk to those younger anglers and see what they're thinking? They could just be loving this because they may not know what it was like before this technology was here, and they're looking at us all crazy. Like, I mean, what are you guys acting like this for? This is normal, just like a cell phone. I mean, cell phones have always been around, right? Right? All right. So let's see who we have. We have a few contestants back here, guys. Let's see who we can pull up first. All right, let's see. Who is this? What is going on, fellas? How are you doing this evening?
Good.
All right. So yeah. So introduce yourselves. Look like we have some high school anglers checking in, and you must be a boat captain too, because I see you have your jersey on.
That's right. I'm the one that drives them around safely.
All right. All right. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys, and let us know who you're representing.
I'm Cole Guck. We all represent Bethlehem Christian Academy with the bass fishing team over there in Winder, Georgia.
Gotcha. Okay. And who else do we have? Who was
Cooper Guck.
all right. All right. Gotcha.
Father
Gotcha.
Justin Guck.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that's a family team right there. Good way to do it. Get out there and make it happen. Spending time with the family. Always gotta love that. So tell us. So what are you run like? What kind of boat are you running, and what electronics do you have on your boat?
So we got a Skeeter ZXR 20. We're running 3 Humminbird Helixes. We got 2 12s at the dash and a 9-inch up front.
Okay.
And we have a Garmin 10-inch up front paired with the Garmin, the LS34.
Oh yeah, gotta have that live imaging. All right. All right. So you have the live. So do you have more than one live imaging transducer?
No.
Okay, you have one up there. So you're behind the times. What's going on? You got to catch up.
We're OG.
Okay, so you're fishing old school. So with one, so you only have one live imaging transducer. You guys are fishing old school. I mean, what's going on with that?
Well, you still got 2D on the trolling motor that still works perfectly fine for drop shotting. So
okay, 2D. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So what do you guys think about this topic? You have heard these numbers, and I mean, I doubt that you're out there in the career, out there have a career going on. So you're kicking out these $30,000-$50,000 right now. I think that may be more on dad right now. But what do you guys think about hearing these guys saying that they're dropping $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on their boats for the electronics? And there's people out there that could be doing this on the high school side of things also. So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just think for our Skeeter ZXR, I mean, they're roughly around $100,000. So they're spending half of what we could buy a boat for on just screens, trolling motors, and the livescope transducers.
Right. Right. So when you're hearing that this is what the pros are having, is that kind of putting it in your head like, hey, this is where we have to eventually get to. This is where, as fast as possible, that we can get up to that point so that we can actually get out there and be competitive. Does that kind of cross your mind, or what do you guys see from that side of things?
It does for me. I mean, I can see the advantages of it, but also the disadvantages of it. You got all that beam shooting through the water that could possibly scare the fish. But you can just see everything that's going on below you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real positive side of it.
So are you seeing other like competitors out there that have multiple live imaging transducers, or are they out there and just people aren't really noticing it now? But I'm thinking people are going to start looking around to see what people actually have on their boats now.
Yeah,
I think we've seen some folks out there with 360 live, and both 360 and the live, so where they're running the Humminbird and the Garmin up front, and I've been able to see that on a couple of boats. But like you said, man, I mean, we're still able to go out there and catch fish on just standard 2D, but yet having that forward facing live is nice, and every once in a while.
Gotcha. So what lakes do you mainly fish?
So we fish, our home lake is Lake Lanier. We also venture out to, say, like Lake Hartwell, Lake Oconee, sometimes Lake St. Clair. But
now we just left Seminole. We got home Sunday.
Yeah.
We were down in Seminole, the Stumpy Lake that we all like. That's right. And we didn't turn that live on all day, and we did great. Boys came in 12th place, and we didn't turn that thing on all day. We went old school and just put the lures on there and casted them out.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Seminole, a lot of people fish that kind of on the shallow side. I was wondering if you flipped that transducer over and used your I think it's called landscape mode for Garmin.
It is.
Yeah, I think turned it on once during practice day just to look around, but you can't really see a whole lot because there's just so much in that lake. So
right, yeah.
Now you get into the deeper parts of the lake, I could see some advantages, but in most of that place, it's so stumpy. But Lanier, of course, you can. It's nice to be able to reach out and see what's going on.
Right. Yeah. So because you guys are still fishing on the high school side, right?
We are.
Gotcha. Okay, so from your point of view and like what you hear from other anglers that you're competing with, does it get kind of because what's the word that I'm looking for? Like this kind of distracting you from the progress of going up in the ranks when you're seeing what is required, you know, of the anglers as far as these electronics and things like that. Because the reason why I'm asking that is one of the things where people, when they're saying that we need to hold this or slow it down and things like that, because some people may not be able to afford it. And the other thing is it's kind of taking away from that original or traditional style of learning how to fish. So what do you guys think about those 2 points?
I agree with you. I think it's taken away a lot of what us younger anglers, especially just coming into the sport, we're not allowed to learn, say, like how the older generation did with just going beat and bank with like a jig or a Texas rig or something like that, and learning how to actually fish.
Right.
I believe it's distracting for us because, I mean, we see them down there, so we just want to throw everything we can until we get a bite. So
right. So does it kind of discourage you guys? You know, does it kind of seem discouraging as far as, you know, as you're looking at what it's going to eventually take? Because once you start seeing $50,000 and $30,000, these astronomical numbers, and it's like, man, I mean, because I know at a high school age, when you're hearing those numbers, I mean, that's some people's salaries for an entire year. You know what I mean? So you're hearing that just to compete. So does it get kind of discouraging? Are you hearing that from other fellow competitors?
I think it is discouraging because, like you said, that's a lot of people's salary for the year. So people like that can't afford, say, the $50,000 in electronics to put on their boat just to go bass fishing.
Right.
Even on just the weekend.
Right. So as far as using the electronics, you kind of like it though, right? You kind of have some fun out there using it. You like seeing those fish swim around, and
it's fun, especially throwing, say, like a Jamaica rig or a jerk bait or something, seeing them, throwing them out there and seeing them actually react and bite that lure. I mean, it's just, you can't replace it with anything. It's just so much fun.
Gotcha.
But it also does, the one nice thing is it also does help you out with knowing what lure you shouldn't be throwing, because when you see them going after it and then you turn around and leave, it's time to change the lure, and then you can go to another place, find something else. But man, when you start putting 4 or 5 of those things on one vessel, whew, that's
right.
A lot of life.
Man, yeah. I mean, when I saw this video, I mean, I have been hearing about the number of transducers and things like that, but once I saw it, it was it was just, I don't know, it just hits different once you actually see that stuff, man. But yeah, so I have some other people that I want to bring up, but there may be somebody that you guys know that I bring up a little later. So if you see him come up, feel free to hit the link and I can bring you guys back up again, because I don't see him backstage quite yet. All right.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, MoneyBass.
All right. Yeah, really appreciate you guys tuning in this evening. And you are always welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. Big shout out to them checking into the live stream. All right, guys, let's see. So it looks like we have some other contestants, and it's kind of good hearing from the younger perspective, that younger point of view, and just seeing how things from how they are learning things and how they're seeing it is going to be completely different from us, because, we were kind of brought up in a different time. But let's see who else we have to bring up. Shout out to the Epic Boys. What is going on, guys? Let's see.
Now we're good. What's going on, everybody?
What is going on, guys? So you are definitely out there doing your thing. Introduce yourselves and definitely shout out your channel, because I'm subscribed to your channel. You guys are out there putting out great content.
Absolutely. I'm Nick Dupree with Epic Boys Fishing.
I'm Chad.
All right.
Yeah, our channel is just Epic Boys Fishing on YouTube and on Instagram and Facebook. So
gotcha. All right. And so Chad, he fishes with a high school team also, right?
Mm-hmm. For South Forsyth.
All right, South Forsyth. Okay, so how have things been going for you this year? I've seen a few clips of you out there holding up some some nice fish that looks like if you were out there. I don't know how the payouts are and how do they have payouts in high school tournaments?
Yeah, they call it college funds, but I don't know if that's what they use it for.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I've seen some fish that have got you some college funding then. All right. So how are things out there going for you so far?
Pretty good. We've had 2 linear tournaments so far, and then we fished Seminole and West Point. Seminole we got 8th in.
Wow.
That was out of 248 boats. So, and we'll talk about that in a minute because that's all we did was use livescope for that tournament.
And then
on Seminole? On Seminole? Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
what were you saying?
The other 2 tournaments we got 11th and I think 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we fished West Point, which we didn't do so good.
Yeah, we didn't do so well at West Point.
Couldn't use the live scope.
Right, yeah. West Point is kind of, I don't really use live imaging too much on West Point either. So Chad, so what are your thoughts whenever you were watching those clips? And actually, did you see the entire video that Zaldain put out? Okay,
yeah, we watched it.
So what are your thoughts? What goes through that young mind whenever you're seeing all of this stuff? Or is it like, hey, what's the big deal? Electronics, that's the way fishing is supposed to be. I mean, so, you know.
I don't know if they have to go to the level with four live scopes, but I think you definitely need one. Most of my fish come from live scope because that's what I'm good at, offshore fishing with live scope. So
gotcha. Oh yeah.
I really don't think you need like 4 and then 4 at the console, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, so the new old school is fishing with one live.
Yeah, the new old school is fishing with one.
That's funny.
So are you guys fishing the new old school method?
Yeah, we fish the new old school.
For now, at least, right? For now.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So yeah, that's definitely crazy. And so looking at this this poll, and like I was telling everybody, I do continue to drop polls so that we can just make sure that these live streams are interactive. So the question is, are you running more than one live imaging transducer? Can you guys see the poll? Have you already seen it?
Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, okay. So you already know the answer because I was going to ask you, what do you think the numbers are? But we have 11% are saying yes. Okay, it's changing a little bit. So 10% is saying yes, that they have more than one live imaging transducer. Man. And we have 90% are saying no, they're just running one.
Yep.
I think that's going to change. I think that's going to kind of flip flop as we kind of progress forward.
Right.
I think a lot of the guys on Zaldain's video, probably the last couple of years, probably had 1, maybe 2, and now these guys have upped it to 3, 4, and 5 transducers. So I think you're going to see the general population, at least the tournament anglers, add another one or so, probably in the next year or 2.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, it still kind of surprised me whenever I saw it. Like I said, seeing it is different from just hearing about it. Once I saw it, it was
we've only been running livescope for a year now, so it's still relatively new to us. Took us quite a while to learn how to actually use it. So anybody that sits there and thinks that, you throw a live scope on the boat, you're going to go out and catch fish, completely wrong. Right. Incorrect information, wrong frame of thinking. There's definitely a learning curve there for sure.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, another thing to think about is if you were to just look at the recent results on Toledo Bend, those pros, they have all of this equipment, but not all of them are doing well. So, but if you think about it, all of those pros are way above our level because they're elites. They're at the top level of the game. So if they're out there and some of them are struggling, I mean, of course, there are going to be people that are fishing the lower level tournaments and stuff out there. I would say the majority are not getting great results. And the reality of it is, if you're fishing a tournament with 100 people in it, some of them are going to do well, but the majority of them are going to be out there struggling, even if they are running that live image.
That's right. Yeah. And that's a big misconception as far as just automatically thinking you're going to increase your catch percentage just by having live scope. I mean, you still got to know the seasonal patterns. You still got to know where the fish are going to be located. You still have to find the fish with your traditional graphs and your mapping. We use a lot of mapping with the Humminbird units that we have. We do a lot of research before tournaments and before we fish a new lake, just to, plot it out, figure out where we're going to fish, what the fish are doing at that particular time. So there's still a ton that goes on with fishing above and beyond just seeing live in front of you. I mean, all that work is done ahead of time before you go out to a tournament and fish. And when you're out there fishing, you already have your spots picked out. You've hopefully already got a pattern figured out at that point. And then, of course, you use livescope as a tool going forward. So
exactly. So for you, Chad, are you seeing other competitors that have multiple transducers, or have you even thought about looking for something like that? Because now it's like, who's not going to start looking around on all these other boats and seeing who?
I've only seen one.
Okay,
everyone's.
Okay, and so they had two transducers on there.
No, just one.
Oh, they just had one.
Yeah.
Okay, but you haven't seen anyone with multiple transducers yet at that level. Yeah.
Not at the high school level, we haven't.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, so would you consider getting like a second one for, say, lakes like? Because you said you did well on Seminole with running that, and I'm pretty sure you were running it on just forward facing and not in the landscape mode. Is that correct, or did you?
Yeah.
Have you started using in landscape mode at all, or are you pretty much?
No.
Gotcha.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, because I think Scott Martin may have changed the game whenever he, had those results down there on Okeechobee, because they showed the screen for a quick few seconds and you could see those fish moving around on that landscape mode, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, and no, absolutely. And you can actually change it pretty quickly. It's not difficult. You just pull the trolling motor out and you can flip it sideways, and they make mounts to where you can flip it pretty easily as well. So it's definitely something to consider. But looking at the Zaldain video, it looks like the saltwater transducer is super popular at the elite level, at least, because you can see further out. You can see your lure further out, and then to have a secondary one on your trolling motor for up close, 100 feet or less.
Right.
That would be ideal. So to your earlier question, would we consider having two? Not in the short term, but I think in the long term, I think it would make sense, because I think other people are going to start to add another transducer, and then that's going to give them the advantage. And if you're going to compete at this level, especially in the high school going up into college, you're going to have to do whatever you got to do at the electronics with the
Gotcha. So what do you think? So right now, what is the best bag that you have brought in so far, Chad?
In a high school tournament, the best bag was 15 on linear.
Okay. All right. And then what about outside of high school? You brought in what, like
we brought in a couple of 17-pound bags. We've had 20-pound bags, but never in a tournament.
Oh yeah, I heard that you competed against Jordan Lee before too, right?
Yeah, Jordan Lee and Jacob Wheeler.
Yeah, we've been in 2 tournaments with 2 elite pros. Well, Jacob Wheeler's not on the elites, obviously he's MLF, but Yep. And we actually beat Jacob Wheeler that day. We got 3rd place, he got 4th.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we had a big bag that day. It was a Hammond's digital only tournament that Tim puts on up there. And that was during the summer, right? Last summer. Well, I think it was in the fall, early fall. And it was an unlimited tournament. So as many fish that you could catch over a certain,
over 2
pounds. I think we had 30 something pounds of fish. So we did pretty good that day.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you guys were culling and everything.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
didn't really catch any fish that were like under 2 that day.
Yeah. No dinks that day.
Man. Okay. Yeah, you guys are definitely doing your thing. All right. So I had another guest that was going to be coming up that you guys might know, but
who's that?
He hasn't checked in yet. I'm looking to see if I see him in the chat. Let's see.
Yeah, he's in the chat. I see a name that's familiar.
Yeah, there it goes. Lanier Bates. Big shout out to LJ. He says 5 gills and Epic Boys, solid crew. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
so he knows both teams out here. So you guys actually compete against each other. Do you guys know each other?
Chad.
Yeah, I do. I know them.
Oh, okay.
I follow them on Instagram and I see all their stuff.
Okay. Great deal. So what I'll do is I'm pretty sure he'll come up in a minute, but you guys are always welcome to the show. If you see him come up, I talk to him for a quick minute and then I can bring you back in. But I have one other person back here, but like I said, whenever he comes up, if you guys are still watching, go ahead and hit that link and I'll bring you back up.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. Thanks for all the support.
Oh yeah, big shout out to Epic Boys Fishing. You guys are welcome back anytime.
All right.
All right, guys. Let's see. All right, so there we go. All right, so yeah. All right, so I see another guest backstage. The call-in link, let me just drop that in the chat again real quick, guys. Just bear with me. Like I said, this is a live show, so I do have to do a little work while I am doing some live. All right, so there we go. All right, so now we have heard from two of those, well, actually 3 of those younger minds out here that maybe all they know is the electronic side of things, but both of them are still kind of saying like, hey, you know, that 3, 4, 5 is kind of outrageous. But I think I can see how people would consider maybe getting a second one and running that in landscape mode once you really understand what these electronics are doing for you out there. All right, so just taking a look at this poll again. And again, anybody that is just tuning into the live stream, welcome to the live stream, guys. Everybody is welcome here, whether you are running Humminbird systems, Garmin, the Rants. We just get together each week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you are catching this show on the replay, it is always best to catch these shows live because I can interact directly with you in the chat and you can participate in the polls. The chat itself is a whole different animal, guys. I have one of the best chats on YouTube, guys. So you definitely want to get in here and participate. And let me just check one more thing. How are my likes looking, guys? Are you treating me right? Let me just check over here. Let me check these likes. They could be a little better, guys. They could be a little better. Can I get 6 or 7 more likes, guys? Can I get about 6 or 7 more likes? If you're enjoying the content, you know, that's all I ask. Just hit me up with a like every now and then, especially on your way in. Just make sure you hit that like button. And let me see. Hold on one second. All right. Just checking some of these comments that we have coming in. All right. So I see we have another guest backstage. Let me just pull up. And I think I've seen this face before.
Yeah, it is me.
What is going on, sir?
Let me close the door. I got people over and they're being loud.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So we have Carl checking in, guys. So what is going on, sir? How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. So what do you have to say on this topic?
50 grand on some grass is ridiculous, but I don't make a lot of money. So, you know, it's all perspective, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
If you make a bunch of money, then it ain't nothing. But if you don't make a lot of money, it is a lot of money, honestly. I run Solix 15, a Solix 12, a Garmin 10, the LiveScope Plus, and a Mega 360. But you know, I didn't just buy it all brand new at the store. I can't do that. I hustled stuff and traded and did stuff like that to get all that stuff. But
right,
it is overwhelming, honestly. I think I've caught a fish actually on LiveScope twice. I've had it for almost 2 years. I got it right when the LBS 34 came out, and it takes so long. I've caught more fish with Mega 360 than I have LiveScope.
Yeah, so I'm taking it that you fish more on the shallow side of things, then, right? Like 15 feet and under.
Yeah, when I first started, and then now that I got these graphs, spent all this money, I've been trying to work offshore, which I'm not very good at it at all. I'm used to be a bank beater, you know, fishing shallow. I think I'm from Fort Worth, west side of Fort Worth and White Settlement, and it's like all the lakes there are pretty shallow. Lake Worth's like 15 feet. And like average depth or something crazy like that. So we're always just beating the bank and doing stuff like that. So that's how I grew up just fishing.
So do you fish a lot of tournaments or do you mostly fun fish, or what do you do?
No, just fun fish. Just fun fish. I just really love it. I started doing the rod stuff, building rods, and like I've had 3 bass boats, and since 2019 is when I really got into fishing, and I've had 3 different bass boats and like 3 different kayaks, and just going crazy with it and just keep constantly upgrading stuff, you know, to get. And I run a Bullet 20 XD now, which is It's an older boat, but I keep it clean.
So you're out there doing a little more racing than you are fishing, huh?
No, I mean it does haul ass, but no, I run at about 60 normally. The top fastest I ever got it was 76, but yeah, I run like 60. It's like normal boats, and then. But I mean, I got it from my dad, so it means something to me. And then I fixed it up and added all the stuff to it, so it's more of a sentimental thing, I guess.
Okay.
And then, but I remember you talking like I rode Brian New. My very first time riding in the pros boat was with Brian New, and it was 2 years ago, and I think he had 3 or 4 graphs on the front, and I know he had 4 on the console, and I was just like, holy crap! Like he was, all of his things was all perfectly laid, all of his rods on the deck. He had like 12 rods. I mean, everything was just so perfect. Like I think it was his second tournament because he won Okeechobee the day or the tournament before, and then he was there, and I didn't even know this because I didn't even know who he was.
Right.
And I was just like, and it was just so meticulous. And then the next day I get on Jay Ellis's boat, and he's old school, and he has like 1 graph on the console, and I think he had 1 up front or maybe 2. He didn't even turn them on and caught like 22 pounds. And it's just like, you don't need them for damn sure. I'll tell you that. You know, the pros have been catching 30-pound bags since what, the 60s, 50s, or whenever they started this. I guess it was like the Bass USA Nationals or something back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Because you mentioned previously that you fish. You were on the being a marshal on the marshal side of things versus being a co-angler so much. So you were able to see and spend a lot of time just kind of, paying attention to what they were actually doing and what they actually had on their boat from that marshal perspective. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Matsushita, that's his name. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. That was 2 years ago. He actually had 3 live scope units up front. 3 years ago, I guess 2 years ago when the last time they were out here. And he had 2 on forward, but he had 1 on that like auto where it has its own pedal. He had 1 on the trolling motor and 2 on that other deal, 1 in perspective and 1 on forward, and then another 1 on forward. And then he had 1 in the back of his boat too, because I could remember seeing the live scope deal, and I'm just like, and I can't talk to him because he doesn't speak English, so I'm just like,
right,
what the hell, like this is crazy. I've never seen so many graphs on a boat.
Wow.
My wife's trying to get my dog.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, so not being more from the tournament side of things and more on the fun fishing, you're not really feeling the pressure that a lot of other people are feeling as far as trying to keep up with all of this new stuff as it comes out.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't need 5 or 7 graphs on your boat or something. Most of the time they have all them graphs. They're really using 1 in the front and 1 or 2 in the back, ones that have your maps up and to side scan, but up front, they're just mainly running live scope. And then if they have like 360 on the side, it's just one of the things you just look at every now and then to see where you're at or what's around you type thing. But I think if you just have 1 graph in the front and 1 on your console, you'd be just as good as somebody with a crap load of them, honestly.
And so really the thing, like I was mentioning earlier, we're kind of guessing to a certain extent of how they're actually using 3 live imaging transducers at the front of that boat. I think that there's some things, because when they're that detailed, and that is what they do as a profession, there's some things that they're doing that we don't quite know yet. And so, like I was mentioning with Zaldain actually going around and showing all of those details. And for anybody that has watched the entire video, you saw there were some of those anglers, like he was like, can I show it? Can I not show it? And they were looking at him like, he was like, oh, okay, I won't show.
I just watched it like 10 minutes before I seen you was live. I was just watching it. It just popped up. I was like, cool. He's actually built him a rod. Chris Zaldain's one of the cooler people I see on YouTube, talking to people, being normal, doing his podcasts and stuff. So I guess I admire the guy. So I was like, hell, I'm going to build him a badass swim bait rod and hopefully he'll like it. And hell, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to give it to him. We got I'm marshalling Thursday and Friday and hopefully Saturday. So it'll be fun. They're here right now, all the pros at Fork.
Wow. Okay. So you're going to be a marshal on Fork?
Yeah. I live here. I live right on the water.
Oh, man. Okay, listen. You have to come back on Tuesday next week. We need to hear about that experience. Definitely.
Okay, definitely. Wow. Oh, yeah. It's fun, man. It's super fun. Yeah, Thursday, Friday for dang sure you get to ride. And then I'm pretty sure I'll get to ride Saturday because I don't even think there was 50 that returned.
This is the end of part 1. You definitely want to hear the craziness that takes place in part 2 of this live stream. The link is in the description.